Hello, welcome to Let's Get Down to Business with the Prince Rupert and District Chamber of Commerce. We are here to give a voice to our local business owners, entrepreneurs, and community leaders to strengthen and support our local business community and to share the wisdom and experience of longtime business leaders and the fresh ideas and experiences of new entrepreneurs. So let's get down to business.
Hi, my name is Daphne Thompson, and I'm the president of the Prince Rupert and District Chamber of Commerce. Today on Let's Get Down to Business, I have the beautiful, fascinating Trish Lazar from Lazy Clat Closet. Welcome, Trish.
Hello, Daphne. Thank you for having me.
It is so great to finally have you on the podcast. It really needed a little bit of nudging there.
Just a little bit.
But I'm so glad to have you. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
So tell us, how did you get to Prince Rupert?
Well, I was born in Terrace and raised in Prince George. And in 2011, my husband was transferred here with CN Rail to Prince Rupert. We lived in Prince George and in Chatwind. And I didn't want to come to Prince Rupert. So he lived out here on his own until July of 2012 when I did agree to move out here. And I have loved it ever since. I don't know why I hesitated so much, but I really didn't want to leave my horses. That was a big issue for us. And so we've been here fully since 2012. I was practicing as an optician in Prince George. I practiced for 30 years, actually, until 2019. I practiced there, and then I worked here in 2 clinics in Prince Rupert as well.
Wow, that's really interesting. So how does the optician go to a retail store?
Well, in 2019, my husband and I bought a property in Nova Scotia, where he's from. And I had intended to leave. I 30 years in clinical practice. I was just getting tired of it. So we bought this property in Nova Scotia that had a cafe and a home above it on the Bay of Fundy. And so I was going to leave optical and go live at our house in Nova Scotia, actually, and run a little cafe. And then in June of 2019, unfortunately, my stepdad became really ill and died unexpectedly in August. And he left me custody of his youngest child, who was 13 at the time. And I had to make a sudden decision to not leave Prince Rupert and go to Nova Scotia because it really wasn't going to be very excellent for Justin to live out there. So I went to a yoga and meditation retreat at Cassiar Cannery, spent a week out there completely off grid, came back to town, opened my Facebook as soon as I had service, and Utter Bags in Cow Bay had announced that they were closing. And in that exact moment, I knew I needed to rent that space, lease the space from Casey and Glenn. And I had no idea what I was going to open there, but we went there right away. I signed the agreement with Casey the next day. And over the next few months, Lazy Cat Closet was born because I didn't have a plan when I signed that lease at all.
That is such a risk-taking move and really admirable, because not a lot of entrepreneurs actually take that risk the minute they see an opportunity.
Oh, I really felt that we need so much small business in Prince Rupert, and we need a business that caters to the needs of our community. Yes. A women's clothing shop. We have several beautiful clothing shops in our community already, but I felt like Utter Bags was providing. You probably weren't here yet when Utter Bags was still open. They just filled a niche for women my age. That was really where I was at. And I developed over the next couple of weeks, I have a certain style, clothing style, and it's very relaxed, but also I think dressed up. I can still look professional while feeling comfortable in my clothes. I appreciate natural fibers, hemp, bamboo, cotton, modal. And that is what I wanted to bring to our community, was that sort of clothing option and style. And I really wanted to create a space that was made in BC. And I was able to do that, and it was really exciting. So I traveled down to Vancouver in November. I had no plan. I think that's the most kind of ridiculous part of it when I look back on it. I didn't have a business plan. I obviously was coming from not really a retail background, and I just jumped in. We went to Vancouver for our niece's wedding. I went and visited the clothing lines that I liked to wear that were made in BC, made arrangements with those makers, all women makers, all women in business,
Mm.
and placed an order. I had $4,000 in my savings account. That was it. That was what I started my business with. And I opened on December 4th. My very dearest friends, Mark and Justine from Cassiar Cannery, and my husband and I painted my shop and got it all set up. My friend Elaine came and helped me put the clothes out. I obviously had a very tiny amount of inventory the day I opened, but it was perfect for me. It was exactly me. It was just me, which
I
I
love
just
that.
tend to jump in. Mm-hmm.
Because every time you walk into the store, there is definitely a very sensual, calming energy that is there when you walk in, and it's it's yet so bubbly. It does remind me of every time I speak to you, which is
I love that.
that's awesome. I absolutely love it, and of course, I'm also a proud ambassador of your brand. I love the clothes that you have there. I agree, it's very soft, and I love the fabrics that you mentioned. And I feel like your clothing is also very forgiving for any shape. It's almost like all inclusive shape wise.
Absolutely. And that was the other thing, is I want women to feel safe in my shop. I want them to feel beautiful in my shop. And I always say that I wish that women could see themselves the way we see them, because gals come into my shop and they try on clothes and I'm like, wow, you look amazing. And they're picking apart things that nobody is ever going to look at, because we look at ourselves so harshly compared to how others actually see us. And
Hmm.
I want women to come into my shop, whatever size they are, and to leave feeling beautiful, whether it's because their clothes feel soft on their body, or they feel that my shop offers that size inclusive
Hmm.
option that isn't really available everywhere, without having to go to a plus size section or go to a petite section. I just want them to come in and find something that they like, whether it's the color, the fabric, anything. I just want women to enjoy coming into my space.
I must admit, from what I've seen from others, not just from myself, but every time you are in the store and we get to interact with you, it really is an empowering experience. It's uh, the way that you speak, the way that you uh, find the dresses or the clothing that makes you feel beautiful is truly an experience that I love about your store. And there isn't a lot of other stores that have that effect when they walk in. Well, at least when I walk in, when I experience.
That that is so nice to hear. That really, I love hearing that people, women especially, enjoy coming into my shop. I have a husband who shops for his wife in my store regularly without her, because he likes touching her when she's wearing the clothes that she wears from my shop.
How
So
cool is that?
I know, right? I think that's so special. And I really love when women share their experiences, that they've loved being in my shop, or that
Mm.
they've felt the energy, or they felt low when they came in and felt better when they left. And I especially love when women send me photos of themselves wearing the clothes, or they stop by the shop so we can photograph. All the photos on my Instagram and Facebook, if anybody's following, those are real people
Mm.
wearing clothes that they have purchased. They're not just models that come in and I say, hey, let's go do a photo. I mean, we sometimes do that, but for the most part, these are women who've come from their day at work, or they've been out for lunch, or they're going for lunch, or they'll stop in and buy an outfit to go for lunch, and then we take a photo before they leave. And those are incredible. It's just, it's so awesome to know that I make other people happy and bring value to them.
Yeah. That is truly, every time I wear the clothes that I purchased there, it really does make me happy too. But tell me a little bit more about the designers and the different accessories that you do carry in the store.
Oh, we're so lucky. I mean, we have such incredible makers. So Gilmore Clothing, Elspeth and Lori and Allison they were sort of my vision, because I love Gilmore Clothing in particular. You'll almost always see me wearing something from Gilmore. And those gals are in Vancouver. Elspeth, this is, I'm pretty sure this is 28 years she's been doing Gilmore,
Wow.
and she's completely made in BC. I also work with Kennedy, another amazing Vancouver designer. She again is coming up, I think, on 30 years this year. I carry Diane Kennedy and Cherry Velvet. Cherry Velvet are those gorgeous cotton dresses that you see women wearing. The colorful ones, they're they are so special. And Diane in particular really is so in tune with women's bodies as far as size inclusive, because she makes clothing from a small to a 3XL. And you're not, when you're wearing a 2X or a 3X, if you're buying from stores that do not understand how a woman's body is shaped, they sometimes look like you're just put on a little rectangle or a little box.
Mm,
And Diane cuts these clothes completely understanding the shape of a woman. And so when you put on those cherry velvet dresses, for example, so many women put them on and say, I feel like this dress was made for me, because they are, like, Diane just gets it. Brenda Lane is another designer. She is based out of Duncan, and her clothes are also made in Vancouver. Brenda, again, her clothes are lots of dresses, lots of tunics, wraps. Again, she fits up to a 3X and properly fits your body. You're not, you feel like these dresses are meant for the body shape that you have, and you
mm.
don't have to change your body to wear those clothes. And I think that is what is so amazing with them. And then the other items I carry, because I absolutely love supporting women in business. And so we have such talented makers in Rosa, Renice, and Anna. They do the knitting that we carry in our shop. So beautiful hats. Oh, Sue Medill, Hannah's mom, we just started carrying her incredible,
Wow.
talented mittens and hats. My aunt, Marilyn, she does necklaces and bracelets and rings. And she was so fabulous. I spent a lot of time in Haida Gwaii last year and brought back a bunch of sea glass that I picked on the beach in Nasset. And my auntie took that sea glass and turned them into incredibly beautiful wire wrapped necklaces.
Oh,
So
wow.
we have these gorgeous pieces that I picked off a beach on Haida Gwaii, which is an incredibly special place for me. And then my aunt makes this jewelry that just enhances the clothing that we have, and it's natural. She uses copper wire, she uses string. It's just, it feels like it absolutely fits the aesthetic of my shop. We have these two wonderful makers that do cork wallets and purses. We have another maker who does gorgeous purses and wallets and little zipper bags that are adorable from cotton. All local gals, all three live here in Prince Rupert.
Wow.
Very little of my shop is actually not made in British Columbia. I've reached out. In December, we started bringing in a little bit of clothing from Montreal. We have a company called Mimosa, and they're again modal wool. They use end cuts from other makers who, rather than that fabric being, like put into waste, I guess, they buy those ends and do limited run sizes in the clothes, which is also special because everything is being recycled and reused and respected.
That is so unique. Wow. Such a mouthful. from the jewelry to all of the different designers. And what I love about what you're saying is every single item that you carry is almost handpicked. There's a story behind it. There is
Absolutely.
reason behind there. It's not just, oh, that's pretty. Or it's not just, oh, I know that would sell. There's reason behind it. It's specifically uniquely picked. It's chosen. It's not just on the shelf because it might, like I said, sell. I absolutely love that. It's as if any woman can walk into your store and find the perfect outfit that was almost pre-chosen for them, because you know the community so well, and you've got this empowerment for women that just speaks out in the clothes.
That is what I hope for. Yes. And I personally know every maker that I carry their items from. My friends and family, of course, are the makers. And it's hard for people to understand, because typically when you shop, you know, you're just buying from a catalog, or you're buying from somewhere. But I know these people personally. I've met them all personally. I consider all the makers to be my friends, including the clothing designers, and I interact with them pretty regularly in a person-to-person way. So, and I think that comes out when you're buying from a shop that is very local, and the people that are there love the things that are selling to you. It becomes less of a transactional situation and more of community building, which is exactly what I want. I just want to support our community. I really believe in women in business. And that said, I do carry some items made by men. My husband is a stone carver, and I do have some of his stone pieces in my shop that he has carved from rocks he's found on the Skeena or on Haida Gwaii, up in the mountains. We have another local wood maker, Bill. He does the most beautiful bracelets that absolutely enhance my shop as well, because of the natural and sustainable sources that he has. So it's just wonderful.
It's a complete personalized experience when they walk into your store.
I hope so. Yes, I really hope that.
So just tell us a little bit about, where are you? How can do we need to book an appointment if we want to actually have a session with you? How does that work?
The shop is in Cow Bay, which most people who are local know where Cow Bay is. But just for reference, I am next to the Cow Bay Gift Galley, which is iconic in Prince Rupert. I am right below Opa Sushi and across the street from Cappuccinos and Dolly's. So really easy to find, the most beautiful area of Prince Rupert, I think. And I have the really great fortune of my shop doesn't have any buildings across from me. So I get to look out into the forest and watch the eagles and the ravens and the crows and all our little Cow Bay kitties that run around. And it's just really beautiful. Smell the ocean all the time.
That is, yeah. That really is a very good location and easy accessible.
Yes, it is. Great for tourists as well, and really wonderful for locals.
So how did the name Lazy Cat Closet come in?
Well, I love cats, like absolutely love cats. And I am the lazy cat, and that is my closet.
That is brilliant. So how did you start brainstorming this?
Well, again, like I say, I just jumped in, I signed that lease, and my husband was not as excited about me opening a brick and mortar shop as I was. He really figured that most people are shopping online and that it was not going to be a draw. And I just sat back and I said, well, I'm going to open a store that I want to shop at. If I would want to be there, then I believe that other people will want to be there. And so I just sat down and I thought about all the things that I love. And primarily I just love cats, and I love being a lazy cat. I love to lay around. I love to be in soft, cozy clothes. I love to drink tea and just feel really cozy all the time. Exactly. So that is how I wanted to create that space. I have a big armchair in my shop for people who are waiting on their friends or family, or men waiting on their wives. And you will often find me curled up in that chair with tea and a book and a blanket if my shop is slow. And I think because my energy and my vibe are just really relaxed and I hope
Mm.
welcoming, it just infuses my shop with that. And I wanted people to feel literally cozy when they came into my shop.
Well, that is maybe a next step in collaboration could be to cozy up with cappuccinos and have them have in there as well, because then it would be the ultimate lazy cat closet.
I know, what's better than yummy treats, tasty coffee, and just relaxing.
No, you,
There's
you have to add and amazing clothes
There you are. Amazing clothes.
in
Exactly.
your closet. It's just like all these movies when the girls actually start communicating and when they bonding, it's always in a closet. It's either in the
Yeah.
kitchen or in a closet.
Isn't that true? I
It
know.
is.
And my favorite shows are when they have those giant walk-in closets with
Yes.
chairs and lights and drawers and hooks and shelves of shoes. And yeah,
Ah,
yes.
amazing. All right. So now that we know the story behind Lazy Cat Closet, we're getting to know the person, the big lazy cat. What are some of the advice that you can give to entrepreneurs or even business owners in our community?
For me, I would have to say don't overthink it. I find, I mean, I really underthink a lot of things, which is obvious, but it has really worked out for me. And I really had no plan. I just decided I was going to open my shop, and it was there was no, I didn't create a business plan. I didn't go and do courses. And there's nothing wrong with doing that. But I think you can talk yourself out of creating your dream just because it feels hard if you have too many steps in between the start and the beginning of start and beginning are different, right? Like I started and then I began my shop on December 4th. And I didn't get caught up in not having a lot of money. I didn't worry a lot about not having a lot of inventory. I
Mm,
just really brought in items that made me happy, that I loved, because I felt so confident that if I loved it, other women were going to love those pieces as well. And that's exactly what happened. And I opened on December 4th of 2019. And as we know, 3 very short months later, the sky fell.
yeah.
And I really could have been discouraged by that as a brand new business, but we also live in an incredible community where everybody just gathered together to support small business and to make sure that we didn't lose our businesses. It
Mm,
was amazing to me. And I had what I think was a pretty fantastic first year, considering that I started very small and had really no clue what I was doing, no plan, no prior business owner experience. Although I grew up, my parents owned businesses all my life. They always owned their own businesses. So I think I did have that entrepreneurial background as far as watching how my parents grew new
mm.
businesses even that they bought and started when we were young.
So what I'm
So
hearing
my best,
is,
oh,
look,
sorry.
sorry. So no,
No,
what
I
I'm
was just going
hearing,
to say,
no,
you go.
no, okay, you go.
I was just going to say, what I think really sustains my business though is great customer service.
Mm,
Every person who walks in, I want them to feel special. Not everybody feels special when they come in my shop, and that's okay. They're just not meant for me. My shop isn't meant for them. They're not vibing with me, however you want to look at it, and that's okay. I do my best to make everybody feel welcome, and I think 99% of people who come in do feel really welcome. I'm very intentional, and I I just am genuine.
mm.
And I don't mean to sound like not humble, but I believe you have to be genuine. People can tell if you're not really there for them.
Oh no, I 100% agree. It's a lot of the times when brands actually go online, they create this persona that looks amazing, and then when they get in the store, it's like the opposite. So I 100% agree with you. Consistency in what is reality and what is said about it and what they see on online, all of that needs to be the same. That sense that needs to carry through each and every aspect of where you present yourself is phenomenally important when you run a business.
Absolutely. That's right. And I'm a little bit wacky and out there, and I overshare and I talk a lot, and that's just who I am. And I don't want to pretend to be somebody different. I'm not super professional, and I'm not, educated. I don't have a master's degree in business. I don't have any of those really fancy things behind me, but I am just super genuine, and I absolutely love the products that I carry in my shop. And that's, I think, the most important thing is that I really love them. I believe in them. I think they are special and wonderful.
So what I'm hearing is, first of all, to take action. So any business
Yes.
owner to actually take action. You don't have to wait for the perfect circumstance to just actually take action. Passion, definitely passionate about what you do, passionate about your product, passionate about the industry, passion, because people buy into that. People buy into people. They don't buy products, they do buy people. The product is a byproduct of the person that they're dealing with.
Absolutely.
Support is, I'm hearing, also a big thing, so that you have the correct people around you. My mentor always used to say, GARP, get around the right people. And the community has been helping. I do strongly believe that our business community here is 1 in a million. There was something else that I also heard you emphasize, is even though you said a lot about you haven't done any formal education, you did get some sort of education in the form of your parents, which mentored you, and
Yes.
you were completely immersed in that entrepreneurial environment. So
Yes.
that, I think, is also very important for a business owner, to be surrounded by that, but also to learn from others.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You have to be open,
Mm.
and you have to, it doesn't mean you have to do everything that somebody suggests that you do. Like, I'm not saying to everybody that it would work for them to just jump in with no plan to have a business. But trust yourself as well, and trust yourself to receive the information that is meant for you.
Mm.
So if there's 5 people telling you how to run your business, but one really resonates for you, trust that that's the information that's meant for you.
I agree. I do agree with that. And what is one thing that you would like to leave our business community with?
Oh, I'm not sure I understand your question totally. Like when I'm not in business any longer,
No.
or
Just
oh,
as we end off this podcast, what is one thing that
oh,
you'd like to leave our business community with?
absolutely. Just be really, really aware of of this of the customer service intention that you have, because that's what I get the most feedback on. When people come into my shop, they will say, wow, I have not been greeted so warmly, I haven't had so much friendly activity in my space, anything like that. People just want to feel like it matters that they've come into your business, and
And it
that
does.
it does, yes. And they want to know that whether they purchase anything in your shop or not, they still want to know that they matter. And that, for me, maybe I don't have what you're looking for when you come in my shop, but maybe you're going to just enjoy the experience so much that you'll tell your friends, and they will come in and find exactly what they're looking for.
Yeah.
But it matters just to have someone talk about a great experience in my shop. I really would not want anyone to leave for any reason and not say, I really enjoyed Trish's shop.
Well, there you have it. That was Trish Lazar speaking about her business, her story, and leaving the business community with really be intentional when a customer comes in. Be intentional. Make sure that they feel how you want them to feel in that store. Because remember, your network is definitely your net worth as well. People talk, and that's word of mouth is the biggest and the best marketing campaign there ever is. So thank you so much, Trish. It was such a pleasure having you on the show.
Thank you again for having me, Daphne. I really appreciate it.
So my name is Daphne Thompson, and this was Let's Get Down to Business. See you next time.
Thank you for listening to the Let's Get Down to Business with the Prince Rupert and District Chamber of Commerce. If you would like to be featured as a guest on a future episode, please email us at rupertchamber@gmail.com or direct message us on Facebook or Instagram at Prince Rupert Chamber.